Hi there! It's time to look at Casper through the Wyckoff lens again. And if you're new to my sessions, here are the key items I'll cover during the session. Let's start with the weekly chart of Casper. So here, Casper is still within the deep test stage, where the whales try to shake out the paper hands and keeping only the diamond hands. And as of now, it's still pretty clear. With the close of last week's candle, the bears are hitting very hard when the bulls try to pass this white solid line. What is this white solid line? It is the base of the long-term playground, meaning tracking back to the previous days in Casper's history. This range is like around 80% of the time Casper was trading within this range. Alright, so this is the very first step. Breaking through this line is the very first step that the bulls will be able to go back to challenge the higher levels. The one that we are aiming for, or looking to see whether the bulls will succeed, is this 0.024 yellow key level. Why this level? Because the previous periods when Casper first came down to accumulation, this automatic rally stage where the bulls set the trading range top, as well as the subsequent sign of strength, both went above this yellow key level. Of course, we want something more solid. So when you look at this and the one over here, you clearly see that at least there was a candlestick during the automatic rally stage that closed at the yellow key level line. However, the subsequent stage both got shot down by the bears to close to the orange key level of 0.016. So that's not something we want to see. We want to see something more solid like these ones, with the candlestick body at least touching the yellow line. Okay, so that's the big picture. Going to the micro view. So previously I shared that when the price continued to trade range bound between these two lines set by the previous trading activities, so that's somewhere between 0.0043 all the way to 0.0053. So these two levels, is, I just want to set it straighter, gives us two dates. Okay, these two levels together with the trading range or the downtrend ceiling provided 13th of January, meaning it's today for you if you're in Asia, tomorrow if it's like you're in Europe or in Americas. Alright, but looking at what happened over the past 4 days, this is getting to be a very stretched target. What's more reasonable now is when we get closer to the end of January. Okay, the chance of breaking outside of the downtrend, the confirmation, would come nearer when we get closer to that. Looking at this leg over here, I'll change to another chart later, because looking at the price spread, I guess when we get to the next chart, it's not a guess because we wanted to look at the volume. It won't get too bad if the price really come down to challenge this line of 0.043. So we want to see candlesticks, even if they are red, their volume is very low. So let's go to another chart now with volume. So let's try crypto.com. Alright, so this is what I'm talking about. This series of candlesticks over here, you see the volume dipped pretty low. Alright, that's what we want to see on red days. Today the volume declined as well. But still, the candle shape isn't that encouraging. The wick from the top. We want to see more wicks from the bottom pushing the price up. So it looks like a nail with the candlestick body. Let me draw one. With the candlestick body like this, but a wick from the bottom, meaning the bulls are pushing the price up closing the gap. Even something like this may work, or something like this, or something like this. Okay, very strong support from the bottom. That's what we want to see in order for Casper's price to get pushed back to the sign of strength level that I mentioned. Okay, remember from the very beginning the big picture perspective, right? First, break this playground bottom, then go through the red key level of 1 cent, and then 1 cent 60, eventually the 2 cent 40. So at least the near-term goal is to break through those 3 levels and eventually challenge this yellow key level. Looking at the trend, just don't forget this white dashed line, this downward trend line that I set for the peaks since 2023. This is also, well, more of an ultimate goal. If Casper really gets into the next distribution cycle, we want to see the distribution cycle, the buying climax, go past that particular line. If it doesn't get past that line and ends up somewhere along the green key level, that's something we're pretty worrying for the long-term price of Casper. Okay, we just have to probably wait a little bit longer if the project continue to successfully improve and gather more momentum from wider community in order to break this line. Okay, if you're interested to get access to these sessions 2 days earlier than the others, feel free to join the channel membership.